Good afternoon. Well, technically it's like 11:30 Big Brother time, but it's 2:30 my time-ish, so happy Saturday. It's me, Mike, aka BB Gossip, and I am doing a Saturday afternoon or late morning car cast to get you up to date. The last podcast I think I did was after we knew that Cameron had won had a household competition. Don't think we still have official words on whether he broke the time, but it was very close to the time that it took way back when in 2005. So Cameron is the head of household. He's looking at I don't know what Cameron's doing. I don't know who Cameron's aligned with at this point. I thought that he might go after certain people, and he actually nominated Jag and Blue, and his target is Jag, which Jag isn't that big of a player. He really isn't. And I think Cameron has decided that he doesn't want to make a big move. He thinks it's too early to make a big move. But the problem is that he's probably going to be out before he has another chance to be head of household again, right? And he's very easily going to go up again. But I don't think these people have figured out yet that Suri is kind of running the show. She's definitely in a very good position. At the same time, I don't know if she can get all the way to the end without winning some competitions. She specifically said to Cameron before the nominations ceremony that she didn't want to go on the block, and he said that wasn't going to be a problem. I thought Cameron might put up Izzy because he and Izzy kind of butt heads, but he didn't do that. She's on his radar, but again, he's thinking it may be too big of a target. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the Power of Veto competition today, which has been drawn for. The players drawn to play for the Power of Veto, in addition to Cameron, Jag, and Blue, are Jared, Red, and Nicole. It's an interesting mix. I don't know if any of them will save. Well, Jared might save Blue. Maybe. I'm not sure. He should, but he'd have to get a guarantee from Cameron to put someone else up. And Cameron had been talking about putting up Jared or Izzy. I don't know if if he could get Cameron to put somebody else up if he used it on Blue. But again, the target is supposed to be Jag. So if Jared won it, I don't know. I don't know what he'd do. That could be interesting. Thus, he may not try to win it. Red wins it, probably leaves things the same, unless they decide to take a shot. But Red doesn't want to take a shot, because it actually is Cameron that was thinking about Izzy, and Red doesn't really want to go after Izzy. Why? Because Red thinks he's in a super strong alliance with Suri, and he's not. Everybody thinks they have a super strong alliance with Suri. And then Nicole, I don't think she'll change anything. I really don't. I think she'll just let it be. Although she might try to save one of those two because they're kind of on her team. It's going to be interesting to see. It will be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, that's all right. We're good. I'm sorry, I'm thinking while I'm talking because I have not been paying attention today. And I've been very busy today with real life stuff. I am actually, obviously some of you already know this, but this is also being recorded a video, which I will post up on my Patreon site. And so my patrons can watch me talk, and they can notice that, oh, look at Mike. He's wearing a t-shirt, which, I don't know, he may even be kind of sweat-soaked here. I've been outside doing work. and it's only 82 degrees, but it is humid. And before doing that, I was at a cross-country meet running around like crazy. So I've had a very long day of running around, and I'm on my way home now, and thought I would do this. So yeah, and then my car, Deb, Grandma Deb, one of my patrons. I'm going to give a shout out to all my patrons before the end of this, by the way. She'll notice that in the back seat is a bunch of stuff. That's because I did finally finish the work that I was doing, and I'm bringing all my stuff home. So I actually had my seats all folded up, and now they're back down again. And again, this is a shot, for those of you that can't see it, this is simply a shot of me while I'm driving, and you can kind of see in the back seat behind me here and see like a step ladder. So what else to talk about? Not a whole lot. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I guess I had higher hopes on Cameron's head of household bringing a bit more chaos to the house, and at least my perception has been that it hasn't really brought much chaos to the house. The house seems pretty mellow, and so we really have to see who wins the Power of Veto competition today, and that's when we'll have potentially some mix-up. If Jag wins that would be for me, that would be the best case scenario. Jag wins the Power of Veto and saves himself. Then we see how the dynamics play. Now the other option would be even better, might be that Nicole wins it and she saves Jag. I remember Jared and Blue are in a showmance, so I don't think she's in danger of getting voted out very easily. So I really don't need to see her saved. I want to see the house under some stress and have to do something. And in the house, I mean Suri. I want to see Suri under some stress, because she may think she's had it tough. I don't think she's had it very tough yet. So I kind of want to see her have to do a little bit more work. She's an awesome player, but I do not want this game to be super easy for her. I think we've got 76 days to go. I think today's like 76 days to go. We got a long way to go. Oh, I know what we can talk about. We can talk about the Big Brother invincibility thing, which don't forget to go vote on that. I think it's cbs.com/bbvote. That is the link. Somebody has already said to me that you can use multiple email addresses if you want to vote more than 10 times a day. You get 10 votes. I went to the site. I haven't voted today. I think I voted yesterday. You go to the web page, and basically it says you've got 10 votes. Who do you want to give a vote to? And you can give all 10 to one person. You can give 5 to one. You can give 1 to 10 different people. You got lots of different options. But the top 4 vote getters, as of Monday by 9 a.m. Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific time, so by noon Eastern time, those top 4 will face off in some kind of a competition. And one of those, the winner of that competition will have this invincibility power, which is the ability to basically nullify an eviction. So all this talk about Cameron and everything, it can be nullified. It could also be a total flop of a power if, let's say, Suri gets it and the people she wants to go out are both nominated the next 2 weeks and put up. Hey, just go ahead and let him go. It's like the coup d'etat power that didn't get used by Mike Boogie in All Stars. It's just because there is a power doesn't mean it's necessarily going to get used. Now, not using it would mean that we'd lose 2 house guests the next 2 weeks. By using it, we gain a week, right? We get an extra week, and they've got extra weeks to play with at this point because they've lost Luke. So they need to have 1 or 2 weeks where nobody gets evicted, or they bring someone back. And so this would fall into the category of one of those weeks. So we'll have to see what happens, who wins it. But don't forget to vote if you want to. And we'll see what happens on Monday. I don't know. We do not know. I haven't been able to figure out lots of things. Like, are they even going to tell these house guests how this is working? Are they going to announce that 4 people are getting to participate in a competition? Are they going to announce what the actual power is? Are they going to announce who's won it? I just don't know any of these things. So, and we may not find that out until maybe Thursday. I mean, we may find out on the feeds. We'll be able to figure it out, but we may not either. The feeds may go down, and if we get lucky, someone will say, I won this power, but I'm not sure. So we'll have to just play it out and see what happens. But don't forget to vote if you want to, if you have someone in particular that you want to have at least a shot of it. You can guarantee that Cerie's going to be one of the 4. I don't know who else other than that. I just don't know. A lot of people think maybe America. A lot of online people are fans of America. America has turned out to be, America is a true blue, hardcore fan of Big Brother. She knows the show. I don't know how far back she goes as far as, watching it. But she's aware of the feeds. She seems to know the feeds. She knows, she has fairly recent references. She was all fired up about the pressure cooker competition and knowing how big a thing it would be to win that. So she was kind of disappointed that she didn't win it, but at the same time she's really excited that she went as far as she did. So there you go. Let's see, what else? You know what, that's about it for now. This is a Saturday. I've been doing this for 11 minutes now. We don't need to drag this puppy out, and I got a couple of other extra bits to take care of. I did have a question that, again, Grandma Deb, Iowa Grandma, now Iowa Great Grandma Deb, sent me an email today that I saw right before I started recording this, and it basically said, hey Mike, I've got Pluto installed and working, and I'm watching the live feeds. And I think she was applying for the first time ever. She's never had Paramount Plus, so she's finally watching the first live feeds via Pluto TV, and she's like, why would anybody ever do Paramount Plus? Why isn't Pluto enough? So, fair question. I think those of you that have Paramount know. Those of you that have never had the feeds would be like, yeah, why shouldn't I just stick with the free versus that? Well, and I have used Paramount or used Pluto a tiny bit. So my experience with Pluto is fairly limited, but this is what I know. It has commercials built in. I believe the commercials are timed, like every X amount of minutes once you start a channel. So, 15 at the beginning when you start a channel, or maybe 20 minutes after you've been watching a channel, something like that is when the commercial kicks in. Like, I think it's a couple of minutes of commercials, and then you get back to your show, get back to the feeds. So there's that. Those are not fixed times. Those aren't chosen by somebody. I think it's just automatic. And you could be right in the middle of a really interesting discussion, and all of a sudden the feeds cut away, right? And you're stuck. So there's a problem, a potential problem. There is no ability to rewind, to pause, to go back to see something you missed. You just turn it on, and you're getting what's coming through the screen, and no ability to manipulate that. If you're on a computer, now if you're on just your phone, like this is my phone, right? I'm recording this with my spare phone. I'm holding up my phone to the camera here. If you are on a phone, you're kind of in the same situation, unless you're using the desktop version, if you know how to jump through the hoops to make that work. But if you're on a standard phone using the standard Paramount app, then you are kind of at the mercy of them too. You can't pause, you can't go back, you can't use flashback. But if you're on a computer, or you know how to work some magic with your browser in a phone, you can use flashback, or you can use Liquidated's Big Brother viewer app, or add on to Chrome, and you can watch the feeds, and you can go back and rewind and go to certain parts. That's what I do all night. I mean, I'm pausing, I'm jumping back and forth, I'm going to see things. I use it all the time. So for me, Pluto TV, really the nicest thing about Pluto TV for me is when I pull it up on my phone, I can screen cap the pictures, versus on Paramount TV, they've got it restricted so you can't do screen cap. So it's nice if I want to get a picture of the house guests, something going on when I'm only on my phone, I jump over the Pluto TV app, which is also running about 3 minutes behind the Paramount app. There's another difference. So if you want to see something happening as it happens, well, the Paramount app is going to be behind. Now, also, here we go, if you see something mentioned online that happened like 3 minutes ago, you can run to the Paramount app, or you can run to the Pluto app, fire it up, and you might catch it live on the Paramount app. So there's a thought. But Deb, that's the differences. So for you, it sounds like you're perfectly happy with it. You just want to be able to turn it on and just have it on in the background and watch it whenever you watch it, and it doesn't matter. You don't need to pause it. You don't need to rewind it. Awesome. That's great. I'm glad they're letting some people that have never watched it before have the opportunity. Hopefully it will increase the number of fans, right? So there you go. All right, anything else? I don't think so, other than my shout outs to my patrons. So let me just make one last time. I think, nope, don't have anything else. Thank you to all my supporters. Thank you guys that listen and listen to the ads or whenever, however you listen to this, whichever podcasting app you're listening to this through. Remember, somebody asked that. I get questions every once in a while. I'll get a notification of a question on Spotify, and I can open it up and read it, but I really can't address it by replying or anything. So, but I appreciate it, and I don't know if any of the other podcasting apps have the ability to leave questions, because I'm not getting any notifications. So your best bet is to send an email to ilovereality@gmail.com, and I will see that and reply to it like I did just with Deb. Grandma Deb sent me an email. I knew how to reply to that by doing it like that. So that's what I got for that. Lastly and finally, really now, I want to give the shout out to my patrons. I currently have, I think it's 13 patrons. At some point in the past, I think I had as high as 20, 25 maybe in different seasons. This season we're at 13, but these folks are a loyal bunch, and I really appreciate it. So if you are interested in being a patron, you go to patreon.com/BBGOSSIP, and you can sign up, and all it is once a month you get charged. You can set the limit to whatever you want. There's 3 tiers. I think I have a $5, a $10, and a $20 tier. But honestly, you can go right into your settings once you've signed up, and you can change it to $1 a month. You can change it to $2 a month. You can change it to $100 a month if you want, and I'll be really thankful, but you don't have to. So if you want to do that as a way to say thank you to me, awesome, would be appreciated. But again, that's totally up to you. What I do say is, for my patrons, I've been trying to do, first of all, this video that I'm recording, they will have access to this video when I post it, so they can watch me wave at the camera and look at the camera. I'm trying to do about once a week. I'm trying to do that. And then the other thing is, I do these shout outs every once in a while. I just guarantee like one shout out, but that's only on the chance that I suddenly blow up and get like 100 people. I don't want to have to do 100 name shout outs, right? But at this level, 13 people, I'm going to give you guys a shout out every once in a while, and this is that time. So, all right, so we're going to do basically first names. I'm looking here, and I'm trying to remember, is there anybody on this list that didn't want me to say their name? And I think we're all good, because every once in a while, someone would say, you don't need to say my name. And frankly, I'm just saying first name, so we're kind of anonymous just by that amount. But you know that I'm looking at it. So let me run down the names again in chronological order by whenever you first, I think, signed up. So if you signed up and went away and came back, then you may still be looking at, for the older. So this is newest to oldest, but I think at least one may be fairly old and somehow bounced around. But let's not. All right, we're done talking in circles. Here we go. Ryan, thank you. Walter, aka Chip, you know who you are. Holmes, thank you. Grandma Deb, thank you. Sam, thank you very much. Kyle, thank you. Nona, thank you. We just exchanged a message the other day with Nona. Angela, thank you very much. Diane, remember Diane signed back up after having been off for a bit. Thank you, Diane. Becky, thank you. Ishara, as always, Ishara, thank you, who I don't get to talk to as much because I haven't been doing my spaces or my periscopes and everything, but we did get to talk finally in person on one of my spaces, so that was kind of cool. And then, oh gosh, I don't remember saying, it says Suzgo. We're going to go with Suzgo. And that name, maybe they changed their name on there, because that name seems kind of unfamiliar to me, or I'm just having a space cadet moment. But anyways, thank you. And then finally, Chatty. Chatty, I think, was one of, if not the original patron. She's pretty close. Ishara was back there too, so, and a couple of people. But thank you, every one of you, for being patrons and being supported. I really appreciate it. They have been supporters like all year long. They support. I do other things occasionally. I do a a non-Big Brother podcast, which I may be moving, by the way. There's an inside. Now we're going to go to the inside stuff that those you don't want to hear this, just skip to the end, because this is not going to be Big Brother stuff. This is just more general me and my life stuff, or my life related to what I do here with this podcasting. I am currently using the podcasting service Spreaker, Spreaker. I have been using them for several years. They've worked really well. When I initially signed up, I signed up at their very basic level, and then I could only have like 100 hours max of content. So I had to keep deleting old stuff and to add new stuff. And then I updated. I paid a higher level. I paid for a higher level when they gave a discount, so I paid for that, and that gave me more, so I didn't have to worry about that anymore. Well, I noticed a couple of months ago that it's like they don't have a limit anymore at any level, so I don't need to pay the extra for that limit. The only bonus to paying extra is that I can go like for 45 minutes. I never go for 45 minutes, and you should be thankful for that. The most I usually do is 20 to 30 minutes, and we're at the 21-minute mark right now. So I can go back to my lower level, not have to pay as much, and because the money just isn't coming in like it used to. I'm not doing an affiliate anymore. I've got you guys that are supporting me on Patreon, and I've got the ad revenue that I get from this podcast. But other than that, I'm not getting any real revenue, and I have to pay for my websites and this and all that. So I'm like, I think I'm going to go back to the lower level. The one thing is that right now I technically have 2 podcasts on Spreaker, and the lower level only allows 1, but I can have another one just on a different account, right? I technically have 2 Spreaker accounts. So I may take my other podcast, my mostly non-Big Brother podcast, copy all the content over to that, over to a new account, and then let you guys know, and you can go back. I haven't updated that in quite a while. I need to do one. So it would be a perfect time to move everything and then tell everybody this is where you need to go now. Does this all make sense? Hopefully it does. One other thing, and this goes along with the same situation of the got a lot, that this non-related stuff. It's more of a personal thing. Next weekend, one of my kids is getting married. So next weekend, from like Friday through Sunday, I don't know how much I'm going to be talking about Big Brother at all. I may go radio silent. I know me, I won't be able to. I'll check it. I may tweet a little bit, but I'm not going to be doing car casts or anything on the weekend. So hopefully it's not a super exciting weekend and I miss a lot. But just want to let you guys know. And for those of you that have been long time listeners, my son that's getting married is the same son who wrote a review to the old Big Brother gossip show back in the day, like 10 years ago, when he said, you guys don't tell my dad, you guys keep telling my dad to do more podcasts. No, he spends enough time doing his podcast. It was a hilarious review. It got lost in a changeover of podcast that Scott did, but it was a funny iTunes review. But anyways, he's getting married on Saturday, so it's going to be a long weekend next week for me. All right, that's it, guys. I'm out of here. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I do not anticipate doing another CarCast tomorrow, but you never know. Something might happen. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys on Monday. And again, thanks for your support. And hey, if anybody wants to be a patron, sign up. It'd be very cool. I'd appreciate it. Bye.